And welcome back to another episode of Rivals on the Pitch. Finally, we know who the winner of the World Cup is. It was a bit of a boring game, but we'll get into that. We'll get into the competition. We'll get into some of the highlights and the lowlights. What to look for in the future World Cups. Some controversies. We'll get into some Premier League action because finally we are back. I think the Premier League has officially started. We're deep into transfers.
Friendlies.
We didn't get into coaches last week, so maybe we'll get into that this week. And the friendlies are starting, so it's exciting to be back. World Cup fever is over. The new season is here. I'm excited. We're all excited. It's our season. So let's go. I'm Alan. I'm, just in case if you're new here, I'm a supporter of Tottenham Hotspur. Here with two rivals / best friends. Depends on what day it is. So, yeah.
True. And I'm that one rival who's Randy, who supports Liverpool, as you can see, dressed in red. All right. And
Randy, this is a podcast. I guess there is video.
yeah, it's on YouTube. Oh my!
That's right.
It's his first time. It's his first day.
Yeah, he doesn't listen back. So, so maybe he doesn't know, but I am an Arsenal supporter here, Pat, representing the Gunners. So let's take it away. Another brand new season. Arsenal are reigning champs.
That's last season. We can't bring it up. That's history now. We don't.
No, we get the whole year. We get the whole year.
Nah.
Yeah,
but
we'll see how the whole year goes.
I see. Randy's repping his Liverpool jersey. What do you got on, Alan?
Can you read it?
Yeah.
Just
Is it
kidding,
appropriate?
No, because I'm gonna have to do the explicit. So this is
blur it.
One Kaiserslautern football club out of Germany. I think they're Division 2. They bounce around between 2 and 3. In the Bundesliga. There was a bit of a history. Well, not really a history, but when I was there, we would go watch the games because we were stationed somewhere near there. And one of the captains I used to work with, he was like, you know what? I think they purposely didn't get promoted to Division 1 because of how much the stadium might have cost to rebuild to get into the,
Ooh, wow.
And it's funny because he was like, yeah, when I was watching them, all of a sudden they started losing, and then they didn't get promoted. So
that's funny. It's kind of the situation that what was it, Luton were in, Luton Town.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they had to pay fines for every game because they were not up to code of the Premier League, which I'm rocking Hellas Verona's jersey here, Italy, 2003, 2004.
Oh,
it looks like a racing kit. This one's from
I thought you were scuba diving. I thought that you had a swimsuit on real quick.
It's very like sporty, but I got this one at the classic football shirts in New York City.
Oh, nice.
So,
right. If you look close enough, you can find a sticker there, right?
Oh, yeah. There you go to the counter. You can see.
Hey, if you find it, let us know. Pat will send you $5.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Oh, there you did. You heard it here.
But yeah, so let's dive into this World Cup. So when we left, one of the semifinals was over. So we had Spain waiting on England or Argentina.
Yeah.
And we have to talk about this disaster class, Thomas Tuchel disaster class that led England to give up their 1-0 lead with 10 minutes to go.
Oh, Lord. You know what's funny? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but we were talking about last week. we're trying to predict the finals, and we started talking about the finals, and it's like all three of us, we never brought up Spain versus Argentina being a final because we were almost convinced that England was going to be the one to win this match.
No, I wanted England to win, but I knew they wouldn't.
Okay.
It's just typical England. They always tend to do that. They always falter at the very end when it's most important. But there you go. Continue, Alan.
No, continue, Pat.
Oh, I was going to say, I think we discounted it, but I think we were just talking about the game that we were looking forward to, right? We said that England-Spain would have been a good final. And I think it's kind of hard to say that we would have been wrong because the game was
boring.
It was one-sided, really.
Very
And
one-sided.
It was very one-sided.
But so I think England would have been a better candidate for that final. And as we saw in the third place match, England against France, you know, I think a lot of players were saying like, oh well, we don't want to play this game. But the reality is that it's not that they didn't want to play. I think they wanted to get to the final. They didn't want to. If they were going to play an extra game, it was the final. But in reality, this was a game for them to let loose. And I feel like it hurt the England fans a little bit more knowing what they could have done had they not sat back at the end of that game against Argentina. What they could have had with Rashford had he come on instead of an extra defender, and they went to a 5-for-1 with Harry Kane up top, and Declan Rice comes off. They lose a little bit of that midfield control, and they just give away 2 very easy goals. And not to take away much from Argentina, but they're a good heading team. I mean, even Romero from the Spurs, like he's gotten on a couple, and that's a lot of the goals came that way. And I feel like you let the team whose best attribute is that do that to you at the very end of the game where you're only 1-0 up. I think it was.
But it's funny because when you look at English football, it's very physical, especially, the league is back in the day, it was very, what's the term called? Basically, it's just you got to have control of the box. And, before, the league was very physical. They were known, it was all direct football, direct one, whatever you want to call it, where it was just sending crosses into the middle and, just defending your box. And that's something English football was known for. And it's funny because that's what at the end of the day would kind of got him. And like you said earlier, is Thomas Tuchel the one to blame? After the game, I let you guys know. I was like, I think that's all on him. I think
I agree.
When you try, it's funny because it's something that was very. I've seen a lot with Tottenham. I've seen a lot with Antonio Conte. Mourinho. When we started getting to that more defensive game style, where we were blowing leads because defensively we were breaking down. And it's like you try to defend the lead too early in the game, teams are going to figure it out, and then once Argentina, or even, or when they took the lead, then you have too many defensive players on the field. And, it's now what do you do, so it's, there's some players or some people that want to defend Thomas, but I think it was a bad call.
Yeah, I agree.
It was a bad call. Completely, man. I mean, his best moments were when England were attacking. You should sometimes the best defense is attacking, and they were doing well. Let's be honest. How many times has Argentina won in the last minute? You're basically feeding them. You're giving them that opportunity by defending. You should just keep attacking. You put the pressure on them. And as we saw how it was when with the Spain game, when you're being attacked when you have the possession, Argentina can't do much.
They didn't have it,
yeah.
It was like 20. Spain had like 20 shots, and this is by the end of regular time, not including
and then one
extra time.
Whatever.
It was at the end of regular time. I think Spain had 20 shots on target, or 20 goal attempts.
20 shots,
like 12 on target, and Argentina was 0-0, 0-0. I was like, wow, you can't really.
I mean, you could just see. One thing is trusting your tactics and trusting your strategy, but you could see where Argentina struggled throughout the whole cup against these teams that pressed them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you go and do something. If you're an extra time, like if you're not even like extra time after the 90, but if you're like 90 +1 +2 and you got a couple minutes left, go in and throw like every defender you have. But 82nd minute, there's a lot of game left, and how we've seen them manage this with the hydration breaks. It's not surprising sometimes to see an extra 10 minutes added on. That's 20 minutes for you to have to fight, and then you've completely given yourself only one tactic to base yourself off of. So, yeah, I think it was all Tuchel's fault. I do think that there's a little bit of fault on the players. I mean,
yeah, of course.
There's a fair amount of blame. Yeah.
Where was Pickford on that one? He was right down the middle. No one pressed him either. Like I said,
that's what Bellingham told him,
no
bro.
midfielder.
in the middle.
Did you see Messi when he stepped on Jed Spence' foot?
Yes.
There's a lot
They were
of these
comparing
calls,
that
man.
to the call
Egypt
on
goal.
Egypt. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's very similar. And it's funny because that gets a replay, but because Jed Spence doesn't fall, and people are saying, "Man, you should have just made it more of what it is. You should have fell to the
Should have
ground."
gone,
But
yeah. But he was
Yeah.
defending, it's in the moment.
exactly, you don't want to. Sure, what if you fall and then you don't get the call? Now you look like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
You lose
it's
possession. You give
lack
them
of
an
general,
opportunity.
And
lack of better terms, but like a dumbass. You fall on your face and you're like, oh, everyone's gonna be screaming, "Get up!" Versus, oh yeah, you should have gone down.
And how we've seen what's the likeliness that they were going to get that call anyway, even if it was correct. But no, you're totally right. And this is what we've been talking about because people on the
they're
reels,
gonna think we're Messi haters. But
the people on the reels have been saying like, don't you know what a foul is? And I'm like, that's totally fair to think that. But look at how far you have to go to find that. And then you look at this completely similar situation and it doesn't get reviewed. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So at this point, it doesn't even matter what we think a foul is. We're going based off the previous calls.
The calls,
exactly. So you set the standards. We're going to go based off your standards when we're watching these games, and you can't dispute the two. You can't say, "Well, this is a foul, this not." They're all same thing, and so one gets called, one doesn't. So and that might have not changed the outcome of the game, but still, it's
when you get so much of that, you make it to a final. And as we saw, I don't think Argentina had the caliber to have been at that final.
They struggled. They struggled the whole knockout rounds. They look at the teams that Spain went against, and then they easily dominated. Just one goal throughout the whole tournament conceded. And then look at supposedly Argentina had the easiest bracket, and they struggled. So come on, what'd you expect, honestly, once you reached the final? Switzerland was your toughest competition, but you can even say Cape Verde was their toughest because of look at how long they took them into overtime. Switzerland, England, last minute winners. Of course, honestly, what did you expect? There was only fight when they were going down, and Spain, and they already knew what Spain was going to do. They were prepared for it, but it doesn't matter how prepared you were. They had no answer for it.
Yep.
I think Spain was riding off a lot of momentum off of beating France, who were the tournament. Oh, look, I said it.
A lot of people
favorites.
There you go.
I mean,
just
we said
tourney,
it
to be short.
They have the chemistry, and it goes to show that goes a long way. And not to say that they don't have stars; they have quality players. I mean, most of them play in Barcelona. Some of them play Real Madrid. But
nobody was in Real Madrid.
Oh yeah, sorry, nobody was in Real Madrid this time. But
Cucurella didn't qualify. He was still
not
a Chelsea
yet.
player, but still,
exactly. But I mean, they have quality players, but I don't think they have like obviously Lamine Yamal. But he was defending. He didn't have like the best tournament. But I mean, he was a team player. But he was a team player. And I think it goes to show that goes a lot farther. I think they deserved to win. I think France, the way they had been playing, I think they could have deserved it too if they had gotten to that point. But I think Spain is a worthy team, and I think they were a lot of people's favorites just because how they had been unbeaten for like a whole year before this World Cup and Euros winner, etc.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I did underestimate them. I did kind of think that there was too many. I don't know, maybe because of the group stage where I figured, what, I think this team is going through a little bit of a transition, with those younger players coming up.
They didn't have a solid striker like back in the day, like David Villa, Fernando Torres, even Morata. I mean, but we weren't familiar with this striker. I think that's why we were a little, maybe overlooked them a bit because they didn't have a solid striker like that. And like you mentioned, they have a young team. But
and then Rodri was.
Oh yeah, he was out for most of the season.
Yeah,
and then he came back with a vengeance. I think he was really whatever, like best player of the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yep. The
best
golden
player.
boot, or no, not the golden boot.
Golden
golden ball.
Yeah. Kubarsi, best young player of the tournament, center back, teenager. That's a big name there.
Barcelona.
I think Pedro Porro got the best right back award.
Did he?
Oh, really? Well,
no, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, presented by Rob's on the pinch.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't tell you guys, but hey, I voted.
But also 1 goal conceded. Obviously, the goalkeeper also got Golden Glove. 1 goal conceded. So yeah, big. Like I said, this team worked together. They worked together. It goes to the coach as well. But yeah, we'll see where this team will be in 4 years. 4 years from now.
4 years. It's going to be in Spain.
Oh yeah,
that is pretty awesome. Defending champions, and they didn't have to qualify. I mean, they qualify automatically because they're hosting it. But to host it while you're defending champions, that's got to give you so much more energy, so much more drive to defend.
So what's this deal? Because I heard that Paraguay, Argentina, and Uruguay are going to be automatically qualified because they're going to be hosting games. So they're going to have a game each, or is
you said wait, what?
I thought it was just Uruguay.
No, it's Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay supposedly are. And this is the reason why people are saying that basically most of South America is going to go, because they're 3 qualified, then they have 6 spots, and then there'll be 1 left that would go to a playoff round. But that's all 10 teams. That would be the 3
is that
plus
during
the 7.
this format, or if we go to 64?
It
goes to 64, yeah.
Then we all South America basically qualifies.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's 3 get in, which is Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay.
But I don't understand how Argentina would get. I only heard that it was going to be Uruguay because that's where it was first hosted. So I thought.
No, I think I'm reading it. It's Paraguay, Uruguay, and Argentina. So yeah, and it says all 6.
And then that's plus Spain, Portugal, and is it another country, or is it just between them 2? But whatever. So that's already what, 5? Yeah, basically. You hear that, Pat?
Yeah.
Chile's gonna make it.
Yeah, we will. So so get ready. Get ready.
In a few World Cups, it's just going to be global. Everybody gets in.
It's going to be the World Cup. Everyone's playing. Yeah.
Mars.
Yeah, it's just gonna be
Puerto
like
Rico?
a 2-year thing where they had to qualify to the knockout rounds, and it's gonna be the same thing as it was before the qualifiers, but they're just gonna reframe it, the Super League, if you will. All right, so what's you guys' game of the tournament?
I think it's self-explanatory. I think it's got to be the 3rd place match against England and France.
For me, that was it too.
It ended up being the highest scoring
10 goals.
Match in the whole World Cup. I think that beat Germany and Curacao, which was 7-1. But come on,
10 goals, 4-0 England at the start.
Yeah, and then they
at the first half, they almost bottled it. And Mbappe was an animal on that one. Olise did good too. Most assists. He matched
he overtook Pele,
yeah, for most assists in the World Cup with 6. She might have been 7. But yeah, how about you, Alan? What was your match of the tournament?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the 3rd place match. I felt like
wow, you need to watch it. Right, if you go watch the highlight videos, it'll be the whole 90.
I mean, I saw part of it at the end, but I kind of just tuned out. I don't know. I was kind of not feeling the World Cup at this point, but I think my favorite game was Japan-Netherlands. I think that one was it was just a really just the way Japan play, Netherlands. I was rooting for them during this tournament as well.
Yeah.
And just the Japanese, the fight that they had, it was just a good game overall.
Yeah.
I think what ended 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
That to me was the standout game. Yeah.
I think also the even though it didn't end the way I wanted it to, I think Cabo Verde versus Argentina was a good game.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
there was a lot of hope in that one. So
there was.
It was enjoyable until the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even the goal of the tournament maybe in that one as well. It's just first class all around.
Yeah.
Who would expected that small island to put up against the World Cup champions like that, and they scared them. It was squeaky button time? Yeah, that's what it was.
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
How would you rank this World Cup compared to other World Cups, get like out of 10. How would you compare it? Better or worse than the previous ones?
Okay.
And then, well, we'll get to that one, and then I'll ask you the next one.
Okay, so first we'll do one question then at a time.
Yeah.
I would say I would rate it like a 6.
Like overall, everything, like the matches, the teams, the
everything,
venues, the emotions around
Controversy
it.
and
Yeah,
everything.
everything. The good, the bad, the ugly.
I would say a 6.
Yeah.
It was. It's not a standout, and it wasn't the worst either. I think what made it good. I initially was a little bit disappointed by the teams going there when I see like Cabo Verde and I saw Iran and all these teams. I was like, what are these teams? I mean, no Italy. I was like, well, what are these teams? You know what I mean? What are they going to do? But all the smaller teams, if I may,
It had a lot of
respectfully,
fight. Yeah.
they showed up and they gave the big teams a fight. Paraguay knocking out Germany. I mean, they showed up. So I think that's the kind of thing that made it good, and inviting a little bit more, and then having these different teams make a name for themselves.
I do say, like how you were saying, there was a lot of people disappointed on the additional teams, but I think this World Cup proved everybody wrong.
Yeah.
But I do think we're at the limit. But you're right, like these, and then you see the videos of the teams going home, and the fans are like, well, how does it feel that you lost, 7-1 to Germany or whatever it was? They're like, well, we didn't lose, we won, we scored. Like that's for at the end of the day, like this is a proud moment, and it kind of, people are grateful that their team was in the spotlight. They were in the World Cup, and exactly. So I do enjoy that, and I think we were all weary about the amount of teams that were in this World Cup, but I think that ended up being a positive at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I think for me, I'd probably go with Pat as well. I think he was like a 6. It was a World Cup of many new things, of firsts, hydration breaks. Yeah, a lot of firsts that didn't pan out.
Halftime shows.
The halftime show. Yeah, exactly. Making it a 15-minute break into a half an hour break. The performances didn't live up to that. But then again, the first thing that we mentioned was they expanded the playing field. And I think those small teams didn't have a lot of draw to them, but when it mattered, they showed. And I think that was represented well. And then, of course, with all the backlash that we have in the U.S. and everything, it sort of takes away from it a little bit. Even the final celebration when Spain won, we had to have the president there. He has to have his minute. And that sort of takes away a little bit from the sport. Like we've talked before, the sport is supposed to unite everyone, and it sort of didn't do that in a way.
Be apolitical about it. Yeah,
it didn't do that in a way. A lot of people weren't, allowed into the country to represent their team because of what's going on. Even though they have nothing to do with it, they couldn't represent, and it's just a shame. But I think 6 would be fine. I've seen way better, and it just sucks. It was in America, and we weren't able to actually. I mean, 2 of us weren't able to go to it because it was priced out of our range.
Because we're
but and that sucks. That's another thing they tried, dynamic pricing, which I think
didn't get rid of the price gouging. It just made it benefit FIFA.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think the controversies on and off the field is what took it down so much. And honestly, haven't been lucky enough to have gone to a game. I feel like the logistics of getting people to from the stadium inside, I think the halftime shows, the hydration break, everything was just like all these changes were, a lot of it was unnecessary, and
even the VAR.
And I think even the halftime show, like, what was that? It was so unnecessary. I think the Shakira portion should have been like the only part, and you could have made it a 15-minute break.
She should like the official World Cup
they did
performance. That's it.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, with speed. And then Justin Bieber comes out and starts playing acoustic. I'm like, bro, the vibe is energetic, and then you just drop it down. And it's just too much, man.
What's Alan's
It was
rating?
mixed. Yeah.
Same. I think I gave it like a 5.5. I like I said, I started losing interest. I was like, I started I'm gonna butcher this word again. I can't talk for another week. Prioritizing.
Prioritize.
Woo.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was rough.
Congrats. Now say tournament.
Tournament. So I was doing other things other than watching the games, or I'll catch some of it. And like I said, I just, not that I lost faith in the World Cup, but it wasn't. It got to a certain point in the tournament where I was like, I don't know, maybe it was too many games. I don't know, but I was kind of like, okay, here another week, and that it got to a point where I was like, man, I can't wait for club football to come back. I can't wait. Is this over yet? Is this over yet? And like I said, the on-off field stuff too is just, it was just too much. Now that it's over, it's like, okay, cool. Like the group stages to me was almost the best part of it. It wasn't even the round of 32s or the quarterfinals, semifinals.
Surprises.
Yeah. So,
all right.
So my next question.
Yeah.
With the World Cup being in the U.S., do you think this helps the MLS or do you think this hurts the MLS?
I think it can only
globally
help.
and locally.
I think it can only help. I think it's gonna get people who are maybe familiar with the aspects that you, or what the feelings that you may use to describe football or soccer. You know what I mean? Like I've brought people to watch games with me before, and they're like, they didn't realize how physical it is.
Yeah.
And it's so much different to watch it live too. I'm sure there's so many people who have never watched a live game before who got to do that. And you know what? Maybe they'll go and start watching, and on TV. Maybe they start following, even if it's not MLS, but they'll start seeing players in Europe and stuff like that. And we know how many of them end up in the MLS. I mean, this season we're gonna see what's his name? Griezmann, Lewandowski.
He's already playing, yeah. Yeah, Lewandowski with Chicago.
Lewandowski. So we're going to see some big names, and they're going to get familiar, and then, they're going to follow these players and maybe become a fan of the team. So I think it can only help. It can only help.
My reservation on that, right? Because I do think that I was like, people are being exposed to the sport. They're seeing the passion from other fans, and that's very, like, what's the word? Contagious. That's they start feeling passionate, and then you start feeling passionate, right? That's kind of how I got drawn back into the sport when I was, when I was in Europe, living, stationed overseas, and watching the Euros. It's like their passion for it kind of re-energized me. But my only fear is that with the MLS, the way it's, I don't know if it's still only Apple TV exclusive, but I feel like a lot of supporters aren't going to be drawn to the MLS. They're going to be drawn to those players that they saw, like, hey, Erling Haaland. You know what? Guess what? I'm a Man City fan. Oh, Mbappe, where does he play? Okay, I'm a Real Madrid fan. Spanish. Where do these players play for? Oh, Barcelona.
Yeah. Where does Marino play? I'm an Arsenal fan. Marino?
Who's that? Pedro Porro? Oh, who's that? I'm definitely following him. His best right back in. I don't even know what a right back is, but he's the best one. That's what they're saying. But I feel like it almost is gonna push some of these American fans towards the European clubs. And it's not saying it's not bad, because like you said, they might watch it over there and they'll be like, what's a local team? Because I want to watch this live, I think, like, for me, we have the locals here, the locomotives, and sometimes you just want to watch it in person. So we'll go down and watch a game, and we do want to watch the MLS. We want to go watch Sonny play over there in LAFC. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of both. But
yeah, I agree. I think, Alan brought up a good point. Yeah, it would bring fans more to the European teams, but then the European leagues, they start in August, September. What are you going to do before then? If you want to keep that passion going for the sport, that's what the MLS comes in perfectly, because we start, a little...
Until they switch.
I know, they're going to switch is what they're saying. But at least you have that segue. So you have, football all year round. And just watching it, I mean, a lot of... MLS is growing every year more and more. And I think the way the USA played, I think that gives them a little more spotlight, because most of those, or maybe half of those players on the U.S. national team were from the MLS. So that is someone you can follow, I think Freeze, the goalkeeper, he plays in the MLS. And I just think it's just going to help us grow more and more. Look how many times when you saw in the World Cup, how filled those stadiums were, the fan fest were when USA were playing. I just think it's just going to help build this more. And then we have a good team. The U.S. has a good team. They're young, and I think the sky's the limit. We hopefully improve more and more. Look, we got Pochettino, a coach who is a winner with PSG, Chelsea, Tottenham. There you go. We'll throw Tottenham in a little asterisk for them. But
Champions League finalist.
Who'd you lose to? But then again, I just think it's seeing the players we're drawing, even the coaches that we're attracting, it's just going to make the sport grow in more and more. And of course, like you said, we got Lewandowski, Son playing, Messi, of course,
Royce,
David Beckham
Timo
is one
Werner.
of these. Yeah, David Beckham knows what to do. He has experience overseas, so he's doing that. We have Will Ferrell. Come on, who doesn't want to follow Will Ferrell? Matthew McConaughey, all these players.
Yeah,
celebrities are also drawing fans to this, so I think their sport will only grow. I think it's going to help the MLS overall.
Casemiro.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, he's going to Miami.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if and for anybody who's interested in MLS tickets are pretty cheap if you look around for secondhand. SeatGeek and StubHub. Yeah, like if you get, especially day of, like you can get some stuff pretty cheap. So if you're interested in the sport, you're brand new, head down to your closest smartphone and get yourself a resold ticket for cheap.
Did you say to your closest smartphone?
Yeah, smartphone.
Because you don't go out to get it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so until next World Cup.
Yeah, 4 years.
With
4 years.
4 years or 2 years when the women's come up.
Things are always changing.
Women's World Cup is actually fun to watch too. And I don't know. Did that sound? I didn't mean that to sound very.
Wow.
I don't know why that sounded rude, but Women's World Cup is fun to watch.
It is fun. It feels to me, and respectfully, it feels almost like a different sport because, like, I feel like tactically it just feels and looks different. But it is fun to watch when it comes around.
And the USA is actually good at it too.
Yeah,
we're champions in it. So that's
kings.
something.
Yeah. But I remember I think it was in Sweden when the women's Euros were on over there, and man, they go crazy for it too. They the watch parties and the fan zones and stuff like that. So. Yeah, it does get pretty exciting, especially once you get past the group stages. It's,
they're tough.
Yeah.
They don't flop.
All right, and so now that the World Cup is over, we have to get back to reality. We have to get back to the suffering.
Nothing on TV.
Suffering that is the long wait before you see your team play again, and then suffer more.
If you're a Spurs fan,
for months. Oh, you suffer when you're on top. You suffer when you're on the bottom.
It's a roller coaster.
So
we're used to it. Watch out.
Guard your
heart. I don't want to hear anything this season because when you guys start losing to us, it's gonna be, oh, you guys just bought the league. Oh, you guys just spent. I don't want to hear it.
We're just gonna quote you. We're gonna clip it.
And then I want to hear when Arsenal and Liverpool spend the same amount of money that Spurs spend.
Yeah, money that we won.
You guys are inflating the market.
Money that we
won. The
World
Cup is
as champions and previous champions.
So speaking of the league, some changes. Not changes. Well, 2 changes. One. The financial rules are changing, CSR, I think that's what it's called, CSR. So the way clubs can spend money is differently, so that might change a few things. Another one is we had a whole lot of coaching managerial changes this season. 50 from Forest themselves, but
and how many basically?
So we'll go over the managers real quick. I'll read them out. I have a list right here.
All right, let's go.
Unless it's gonna take too long.
No, go ahead.
So it's probably going to go alphabetical. So for
can
Arsenal,
you read them?
Arsenal has Mikel. Who is this? This guy's new. This guy new? Mikel Arteta still there, surprisingly. For Aston Villa, Unai Emery still there. I thought he might have been going out, looking for a new venture. There were some rumors during the season, but he's still there.
The transfers they're getting, he's going to stay.
Yeah. I mean, they just got a whole lot of money, but they're financially they have some issues where they do high wages, and they weren't able to buy a lot of players. A lot of players come in on loan, so it was always a carousel of players. But now they just sold Morgan Rogers for 117. He broke the Elliot Anderson record, I think.
He
That
did.
lasted.
Sheesh. So they got money to spend. I don't know if they have money to spend or they just have money to get them out of debt. It depends what they're gonna do. But Bournemouth, AFC Bournemouth. Have Bournemouth. What did I say?
Bournemouth.
Don't correct me.
I don't know what you said, but it was wrong.
Don't correct me. Marcos Rose, who's coming from RB Leipzig. Is that right?
Leipzig?
Yeah.
You're in Germany. You should know.
Yeah, come on.
Oh my
Leipzig?
God. There you go.
Yeah. So how do you guys feel about that? I mean, Areola went to Liverpool, which we'll get into later, but I feel like he had success over there. They're kind of a similar style of club where they're a selling club.
Yeah, I think it suits them.
Yeah.
I
think Leipzig's a little bit higher on the table in Germany than Bournemouth sit on the Premier League.
Really?
So
yeah.
I think it, for, you obviously Bayern Munich, Dortmund, and you got the Leverkusen, and I think Leipzig's right up there. With
and
Bournemouth.
they have a good academy. They sell a lot.
They're
They
below
sell a
the
lot
top
of players.
6. Yeah, they do. So no, I think it's a good move for them. So
the way they recruit, I feel like they must have done their homework.
Yeah.
They're not just going to sign anybody, but they did have their sporting director or their technical director, I don't know who it was, also depart this season, which is weird because you get into Champions or into Europe and then all these guys leave. Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's those accolades that get you a better job.
That's
you know
true,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like, hey,
exactly.
I got this team to the Champions
You
League.
put that in your resume, yep.
Yeah.
So Brentford, we have Keith Andrews, who was Randy's coach of the season, right?
Yeah.
And nobody expected him to have the season he had. So can he replicate it this season? I mean, I don't think all those players are coming back, right? I don't think they're losing anybody.
Yeah. I think they're just going to get better. Yeah. I think he's going to do well. So.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, God, I can't pronounce this. Fabian Herzler.
Yeah.
From
Brighton. Brighton.
Yeah, he's all right. It's a little too whiny for me.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, he started off slow, but then when it mattered, he got hot again. So I just think if he can be consistent, he should be a good coach. But I mean, Brighton has always been that mid-table type of team.
Yeah.
So I think he should be fine. I mean, of course, they do well recruiting.
Yeah, they took one of ours. And this one's going to be an important one, especially with their signings. Javi Alonso to Chelsea. I saw Randy. I saw you flinch a little bit. Is that a tear? Are you crying?
No,
are you crying? How's it going to feel seeing Javi Alonso on the Chelsea sideline, probably wearing blue?
Yeah,
he'll wear a suit. Nah, actually, he's not a suit guy.
He'll wear like a sweater vest or something. Underneath it will be a Liverpool jersey, but I don't know.
Okay.
It'll be weird to watch.
I think it's a good fit. I think it's kind of what this team needed. And then I'm sure he's going to attract a lot of players. I don't think they're done in the transfer window so far. That's what I've been reading. Even though they spent so much, Garnacho's outgoing, so he might get money for that.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to sign LaCroix.
Cucurella went out too already.
Yeah, so they got money from that. So
yeah,
we'll see what they do.
Maybe Enzo Fernandez too. Supposedly he wants to go to Real Madrid, so we'll see. Of course, that's going to be a high fee.
Yep.
I don't know. He's gonna be like, I saw how you guys treated Spain in the World Cup.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
But that's Barcelona players right there. So he's getting ready for the Real Madrid.
That's true. That's
Barcelona Clásico.
So I think that's a good pickup from Chelsea. I think they're not going to be the same team this season. I think they're actually going to be a harder team.
I think huge improvement over Liam Rosnier.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I agree.
And then you got Frank Lampard at Coventry City.
Ooh. All right.
I'm back to the league. Yeah.
I wonder if he can keep them up though. That's the only thing is
Let's see.
hopefully he can keep them up for one more season and that's it.
We'll see when our predictions come out.
First game of the season is against Arsenal.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, opening game.
What is it? Home? Away?
Undefeated.
I think home because we're champions.
Oh.
All right. Next.
And then we got Pierre Sage from Crystal Palace, replacing the Oliver Glasner last minute departure. Where did he come? Oh, he came from RC Lens from Liga 1. Yeah. I think they did really good. I think they ended up top 3?
Yeah, I think so.
But then again, that Crystal Palace team has been dissected. A lot of players are supposedly leaving, so it'll be hard to see what's going to be done with that.
But they're keeping Wharton. I've seen no teams linked to Andy Wharton. I don't know if that price tag must be insane.
They don't need to sell either.
That's true, yeah. And they're in Europe again, right?
Yeah.
No, they're not. Yeah, because they won.
Yeah.
Because true. They won.
So they'll be in Europa because they won the Conference League.
Yeah,
that's what you get when you win a tournament.
Oh.
I thought you were talking about
win Europa.
Oh, Alan, you were talking about
Champions League.
Look at where they finished, though. They would have gotten it anyway. They would have got to Europe anyway.
Alan told you, Pat, you don't bring up the past, yet he can bring up the past. So what is it,
Listen, look at what they finished. They finished in a European spot.
It doesn't matter.
They can play whatever they want.
You win. They don't look at well, okay, what did you qualify? Here's what we'll give you. No, you won. Here's your prize. That's it. End of story. I don't know why you guys
that's
keep
all you
bringing
want.
it up.
You want it to be end of story. You want to hear all the backlash.
Then we got David Moyes with Everton. You should have relegated when you had the chance, David Moyes, but you didn't. And now here we are, spending money. If we win the league, blame this guy. Just saying. So David Moyes back in Everton. I feel like he's not.
He's safe. He's safe. That's what it is.
He's
just
safe,
keep you where you're at.
I think Everton deserve better. I think they can. It's hard to say because he's kept him in, right?
Yeah.
And I mean this in a nice way. New stadium, I feel like they had a decent season.
But compared to before,
where they could have gotten a European position, huh?
Yeah.
But look, you said they deserve better, but they've tried and they've fallen short. You go to a new stadium, you got to get someone who's safe, consistent. David Moyes makes sense. Let him run out his contract, whatever it is. Let him retire where he was the most successful manager at. And then you can probably try and get that. But right now they have players to attract a good coach. But we'll see what happens.
Okay, Randy.
Yeah.
He's like, leave him alone. Just let him do his thing.
I love David Moyes. Stop picking on him.
No, jeez.
Pick on Thomas Frank.
Oh, don't say that name. And then we got at Fulham, Alvaro Arbeloa.
Arbeloa?
Oh, from Real Madrid. That's
Real Madrid. Yeah.
I was like, Alan made him sound like a totally different person.
All right.
They chewed him. They ate him alive at Real Madrid.
Yeah, the players?
Yeah.
And the media?
And the media.
Yeah, of course.
So let's see. Hopefully he gets a little bit of breathing room here, and let's see what he can do. I don't think he's proven anything yet.
Did he play
for Liverpool? He played for Liverpool.
Liverpool, right?
Liverpool.
Yeah, he played for Liverpool.
Liverpool
Real Madrid and the Spanish team.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, because he played for Liverpool and then he went to Real Madrid, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a good signing for them.
Oh, man, these freaking names! But who
You're the one who wanted to read them out. You chose it.
Sergic Kirvolkic. From Hull City.
Oh, Hull City, okay.
Yeah,
don't know
I'm so bad with names.
Hull City, should they be in the Prem? Because remember?
Question, yeah.
Let's see.
They're going to be back down real quick.
Divine Justice will decide.
Jakirovic.
The football gods.
Yeah. Ball never lies, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually excited for their jersey. Some of their fans didn't like it, but I was like, that's kind of cool. Okay. We got Gary O'Neill with Ipswich Town.
All right.
Gary O'Neill.
You saw him sing to the England fans, to the England national team?
Oh my God, Ed Sheeran singing to the English team. They're just like, it's hot. Can we go inside?
Is this punishment? Yeah, there you go. But
so he's coming from Strasbourg, huh?
Okay. It's Chelsea. That's a Chelsea team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we got Daniel Fark
That was
from
Leeds, right?
As
Yeah,
Leeds.
Leeds.
He was almost out the door.
Yeah.
He had one
I'm
foot in the
surprised he's
club.
still
And then
there.
he saved
And
himself.
then the team turned around. I think Dominic Calvin-Lewin saved his job.
Yeah.
That he got
whatever
hot right
pep
at the
talk
right
he
moment.
gave him at that halfway point.
But they saved him too.
Keep saying that. Yeah.
I don't think even Middle East wanted him. They're like, ugh.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think Leeds stay next season. I think he's a good manager.
I believe so too. They got history.
Then
They should stay.
Andoni Areola with Liverpool.
All right.
Randy, how do you feel about this? You were so caught up on,
Arnie Slot?
What's his
Don't
name?
even say
Arnie's
that
the slot
name.
machine staying, remember?
Yeah.
What no, you can't sing a different tune now.
No,
Come
I'm not
on.
gonna be like you.
You were talking
No,
about all
I
the slot
thought he was-
machine that he's the best
Yeah.
one to clean up his own mess. And as
He
soon
should
as you
be.
got
He should have. But once the fans,
So would you
start
trade
speaking
back?
out, hearing his press conference and everything like that, I'm excited for what's going to happen. We've seen what he's done at the Prem with Bournemouth. I just think what he's going to do with Liverpool, it's going to be levels above. I know it's going to I'm not expecting it to be, 0 to 100 real quick like that, the transition. I'm of course expecting a few bumps in the road, but I just, like I said, on paper, it looks like it's almost like a match made in heaven, and we just got to wait on signings and see what's going to happen. But, I'm excited for this season.
He's a player that you can trust, those young players to develop under.
Yeah.
Because look what he did with Berman. It has to be an exciting project after seeing all that.
And he deserves
says
to
here-
step up in competition. I mean, he deserves to step up what he's done. I think why not stay in the Prem and do it with Liverpool?
Yeah. I mean, Bournemouth probably had a better players anyway, so I don't know.
Well, we'll get to your team and see what you have to say about that.
And then we got Enzo Maresca for Manchester City. Maresca. I don't know if they put a picture of Pep or they put a picture of Enzo Maresca. I can't tell. But
Pep with the
they're
filter,
telling
the
me-
old filter.
they're telling me this is Enzo. I hope it is. I can't tell the difference. But
I'm excited to see what he will do because he started off a little shaky at Chelsea, but then he was consistent. And then the whole debacle happened where he was essentially let go, but he was kind of
But-
like, I don't.
did you? I felt like for a while it felt like they were hot, or they were started off slow. They got hot, and they got to a point where they were kind of up and down.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they're saying that his play tactics were.
Well, remember they were trying to dictate who he could play and who he cannot play and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Do you want me to be the manager or not?" Like, and there's the whole debate whether when teams announce these they're like, are they the head coach or are they the manager? So he wanted control, and I think he'll have it
Yeah.
at City.
Yeah.
But let's
He
see
might
what
have
he can
weaseled
do.
his way out too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's won every season, I believe, at Chelsea. He's won silverware, so I think it's
but
just a nice way into it. And we'll see what happens with the Community Shield that's going to happen against Arsenal.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Taste there.
If City wanted him, then they must see something in him, right?
I mean,
Yep.
he's from the Pep
'Cause
school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have Michael Carrick with Man United. Respect.
Respect. I have a feeling he's gonna struggle with a full season, and
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
they're
The extra games.
struggling with their players a little bit too. Obviously, the whole Rashford thing's got to get settled, and I think he should get incorporated. He had a great World Cup.
Why wouldn't? Yeah, exactly.
I think you should reincorporate him, and then maybe he'll have a little bit more consistency.
The only reason I can see if they're not willing to, it might be his wages, to the point where are his wages too high to the point they can't do more business.
They're the ones who set the wages, though. They're like, oh no, this is too much. So like, well, you gave it to me, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And he earned those rights he earned those wages because he played well the seasons before to get that new contract. So but then when you stop
Barcelona's
playing
like-
them or whatever, that's what happens.
they probably like, hey Barcelona, we'll get him on loan, and they're like, this is your player. No, we'll cover half the wages. You cover the other half. We'll loan him out from you. This is your
Daniel
player.
Levy back there.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I do think he'll struggle with with the amount of games. I don't know if it struggles the word, but I think getting used to that. Um, and then, like you said, their signings haven't been the best, and if they don't pan out, if they pan out, everyone's gonna think Man United had the best business. You know, 'cause they're already claiming it with Santos and
Yeah.
Tielemans, saying, "Oh, look how smart we are." But if it doesn't pan out, they're gonna be like, "Why did we do this?" And like I said in the last episode, this is how we conducted business for the longest time. Where we're like, you know what?
Yeah.
You know, it was smart that we got these two players for under X amount instead of paying that for one player, and then neither player panned out, and it's like, wow, we just wasted all that money, and then we can't even get rid of them on. We can't sell them, nor we can loan them, and we're just there, you know.
Yeah.
But
Marcus Rashford situation. Yeah, but I think he'll struggle this season.
and then Newcastle with someone who people blame for their downfall, Eddie Howe.
I have a feeling he doesn't make it past this season.
I can see that. I could definitely see that. I'm surprised he's still there.
Yeah. I just think
He
they need
could-
something different now.
I mean,
Yeah.
with the new vacancy, maybe with the England squad, everyone's mentioning his name, so he might jump
Well,
at
no,
that opportunity.
Tuchel's continuing from what I heard to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Euros.
The Euros, yep.
But yeah, I agree. I don't see. He struggled last season.
He did have a
I
lot of
feel the
injuries
same
as well,
thing.
but it just doesn't
Yeah,
seem
but
like
now
an
they're selling.
attractive place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's faith in the project.
Which
You're
is why
getting
people are
all these
leaving.
young players. Maybe you want to get not a younger coach, a more innovative coach in there. What about Oliver? Well, the next one is Oliver Glasner from Nottingham Forest. But what if he would have been a decent fit for
Yeah. I
think
Newcastle,
agree.
right?
so. I would.
Oh, would that have
I
been
just don't know what his relationship with Maracas is going to be like when things go when he has a little slump. How is that going to be? Because you see how hot-headed he is. I feel like he made a mistake going to Nottingham Forest when he could have gone to another team, like we mentioned, maybe a Newcastle, if the opportunity arose.
Yeah, I don't even know if this is much of a. I guess it's a step up. Maybe it's a more ambitious project. I don't think it's on the
I think
table.
it's a
I don't think it's a
sidestep.
step. But I mean, sure. But I think it almost seems like more of a
I mean, they're going to be willing to
and
spend a
more
little more
ambitious.
money. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can say that.
because Crystal Palace feels like they just sell, and Forest they sell too. But I think it's a
And they
lot
got
harder.
your
I think
favorite player
Marinac is.
still. They still got
I don't
Gibbs
know.
White.
I think we're switching him with Bergvall. Actually, I don't know. But yeah. Now we have Sunderland Regis Lebris.
Okay.
Oh, he's French, so Lebris.
I mean,
Oh.
Sunderland's good. I think they'll have another good season.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
It won't be the same as last season. I think they might take a little, may go down a little bit on the table, but I think they'll still have a pretty good season still.
Yeah.
I mean, they got Europe, right? Did they get Europe?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that'll be more games for them. I don't know if they'll be able to cope with that, but it might affect them in the
seventh
Prem.
place.
It's
Seventh
more
place.
money. So
Do they have a lot of loan players, or do they buy?
they have a
I don't
few,
think they
but
have a,
not many.
It's
Yeah.
mostly
So they
them.
might have to make some moves in the market to maintain their position.
That's the thing. Now the World Cup is done, so we're gonna hopefully see a lot of movement in the transfer window.
Yeah, exactly. And then last but not least,
Wolves?
future
I wish.
champion Robert De Zerbi leading
Oh.
Tottenham Hotspur.
I
A
love
full
how you're
season.
such a fan now.
A full off season with Robert
Yeah.
De Zerbi.
This is not the tone I heard.
Yeah. When I
Hey,
mentioned
listen. At the end of
Deserby,
last season.
you cringed. You're like,
Listen,
"Ugh."
listen,
Now
listen,
he's
listen.
your now you
There's-
got a tattoo of him over your
No.
heart.
I still have my reservations, right? And you know the whole off the field stuff. They kind of did some stuff that was like, okay,
You should be happy. Greenwood is in Turkey now. Is he?
if he would have came to Tottenham, I would have been done.
Yeah, he's
don't
in
want
Turkey,
that
so you don't have
dude.
to worry about Mason Greenwood now.
But there was never a rumor. People were always making a rumor, and it was never anything. My only issue right now is they would give him too much power because a lot of the youngsters
So you
that
think
we
he
have.
should be head coach, not manager?
No, I think he should be manager, right? But we're letting go of a lot of youth, and I always thought that there needs to be a little bit of a balance, right? Because you have your youth that you develop. They play the way you want to play. They're cheap. and if they don't make it, you sell them, right? But that's when you've tried time and time with them. Right now, we got rid of we sold Luka Viskovic,
Yeah, your fave.
to Brighton. We're selling Will Lankshire to Middlesbrough, a striker that I thought would. I know people didn't rate him, but I thought he had the build for a striker. And watching him play under Ange, I thought that he was actually going to be, have a breakout season. But we're selling him. We have 2 or 3 academy players that are leaving because them and their parents don't feel like there's a pathway to the first team. And I think it's a sacrifice that you have to make if you want to be competing in the top 6 because there's a quote out there that kids don't win you titles, and it's true,
Mhm.
right? You need that experience. You need those players that are top level, play at the top level consistently, and it's hard to compete when you have younger kids. But to me, that part of football is still exciting. I don't want to lose that part of the club where it's like, oh look, Lucas Bergvall, it's on the starting lineup. Like I'm excited to see how he does. Archie Gray.
Furbeck wants out too. I mean, it looks like he might stay, but
He might stay, I
who knows for
think,
the right money?
Yeah.
and they're talking about 60 million. 60 million is not bad, and it's
So now
hard.
you're
It's like,
changing your
damn,
tune. There you go.
but I don't want to, like we always talk about like how the money in the market is, like I wish it wasn't this way. And I wish there was more pathways for these younger players, and it just sucks seeing this youth just being sold. And then you look
Yeah.
at Vukovic is probably going to be a top talent one day. And it's like, man, oh, he instead of saying, "Oh, he plays for us," it's like, "Oh, he used to play for us." Oh, remember when we first signed him? Oh, we signed him when he was 19. And
I mean,
it's like,
the same thing with William Saliba. We signed him when he was 19, and
Yeah,
we
send
sent
them
him
on
out on
loans.
loan. We sent him on loan
mhm.
twice, and then the third season, we brought him in, proved himself in the preseason, and then he started. What
So
could it have
that's
been if he decided not to? Because there was a time where they were like, should we keep him or should we sell him? He got young player of the season twice, but it was in France, which is a different league. You know what I
yeah.
mean? We
Who did
know
you guys have at center back at the moment?
at that time we did have Big Gabby, and he was pairing up with like David Luiz, and so the idea was, should we go and get a high rated center back or give this kid a chance?
hmm
But it took a couple seasons. You know what I
Convincing.
mean?
Oh,
So that's what we set him off on loan twice because he was over in Belgium and then he went up to Hamburg. And when he went to Hamburg, he decided I want to go get first team minutes. I'm not going to start over Van der Ven or Romero, which was like, okay, we get it. And then he didn't want to come back and fight for a spot, because he looked at, we signed Van Hecken, um, Senesi, and then we had Kevin Danzo and Van der Ven. And he just decided, I don't want to fight for a position. I just want to go straight to first team. And I get it, but you're only 19 and this is a new league.
exactly.
Like, part of me doesn't feel bad selling him because he didn't want to stay and fight for his
Fight.
position. Yeah, yeah. And if you're good enough, then you bet on yourself,
Yeah.
But he didn't want that at all. Lucas Bergvall, I think he saw us signing those 2 midfielders and said, you know what? There's no space for me, but I think they talked
I
to
think
him and
he's good enough to start somewhere though.
he is. But it's like you said last week. Well, if you're good enough to start, come fight for a spot. But players don't want to do that anymore,
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, do we want that attitude on the team? And we'll
What
take the
spot is he
money and
gonna?
go.
Who is
But
he gonna fight with? Let's, look at and
if
I'll
he's
probably have the players that come in who you pay top dollar for. So of course, they have
yeah.
higher wages, they have more experience. They're gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna fight against a kid. I'm starting. Let's just call it as it is.
Well, the Zerby just had an interview where he said, "I don't care about your last name or your first name. It's whatever you do on the field that's going to get you the starting position." And I was like, "Okay, that's what I would like." It doesn't matter how much you get paid. It doesn't matter who you are, where have you been. It's what you're doing now. And half the time, most of the time, it's going to be these players
Yes.
are expensive for a reason, right? But if you get beat out, you get beat out. But
Yeah.
And it's not for the whole season.
We'll
it's
see.
just maybe for that one game, and then you go back to training and you do it all over again. It's not set in stone.
Well, we'll see where he ends up or if he stays. I think he's a good player. I think, in my opinion, he's one of your best players, Bergwall. I think he showed it in a couple games where he was given kind of like that freedom. You know,
He has a lot of raw talent that needs
developing.
And that's what De Zerbi's good at doing. And this is going to be his first season under De Zerbi that he'll be able. Maybe this system will flourish.
But we can't be competing with him, trying him out. So that's where the balance is, or the unbalance. You can't get good at preseason. Nobody takes preseason serious. It's just warming up. It's just making sure you're limber enough for the actual season. I just think Bergvall has a lot of raw talent. I think he's going to be a very good midfielder, but there's no time for him to develop, especially if we're spending this money to compete. If we had European football, sure, but
I can see why he wants to leave though, with like that kind of setup where you're like, listen, you're great, but we can't risk you being there game in, game out. Yeah. So he's like, all right, then what am I doing here? You know what I mean?
And you can only develop with game time, right?
Yeah. But so I do want to talk about one last thing before we close out, which is the big bomba.
Which one is it?
Bomba. The 117 million pound transfer of Morgan Rogers to Chelsea, a team that did not seem to be in the race, and then all of a sudden they popped out of nowhere. And I'll give you guys some insight. I read a couple articles just to get the full story.
Okay. He wanted to know why you rejected Arsenal.
No, so I'll first of all, I learned how to read. Then I wanted to read a couple of the articles, and this is what happened. So he was in talks with Arsenal, and to be fair, I don't think that Arsenal knew that he was also in talks with Chelsea. So the idea was that he spoke to, Odegaard, he spoke to Saka and Rice, and he was sold on the idea of playing with these players, playing for Mikel Arteta, but he was told, you are going to be playing left wing. That's going to be your sole position. And, there's some movement. Obviously, Trossard officially confirmed to Besiktas. And, Martinelli is supposedly considered for sale at the moment. If a bid comes in, the right bid comes in, he's gone. If it doesn't, he stays. But that was going to be his left spot. Chelsea offered him a little bit more of a flexible role. And he also wasn't going to be guaranteed a starting spot, just like at Arsenal. But he said, you're going to play some attacking midfielder. You're going to play some center midfield. You're going to play left wing, right wing. We're kind of like mold you to different things. And that seemed attractive to him too. He had agreed on terms with Arsenal. So what happened was that Arsenal had made two bids for 60 and 65, which was the valuation of the player. He was valued at 50. He was valued at 50. And Villa were looking somewhere above 90. So I think the last bid that we were going to put in was going to be 85, which was going to be right below their minimum, and see if they take it.
Budge.
Chelsea came in and said, here's 117. No haggling.
We'll double it.
So then they came. So the Morgan Rogers agents came to Arsenal and said, listen, Chelsea just put in 117 million pound bid. Can you match it? And Arsenal said no. And from what I understand is, while we have our main targets and Morgan Rogers was Arteta's main priority at that left spot, was that we have a hard limit on every single one of our targets. So we're not willing to exceed for certain players.
I thought you had money.
We do, but we want to be smart about it. We're not going to spend money on a player that isn't worth 170. I think he's a great player, and I would have loved to have him.
It's a lot of money
for a player who's kind of good right behind the striker and kind of lingers onto left and right to force him to play a position. It's the same thing with Eze. I didn't want him to come and just play left wing. I want him to challenge Odegaard, and I wanted him to go back and forth. You know what I mean? I didn't want him playing left wing only. I don't think his best position is there. So I think it would have been a waste. And to pay a record fee to put a player solely out of position, I think would have been a waste. And I think Arsenal, I think they understand that. I think they have hard limits on every single one of their targets, whether it's A1 or A2. So, but with that being said, what is up with Chelsea? Because I thought that they were getting in trouble because of the overspending, and now here they are, another record fee. We were just complaining about, the likes of City spending all this money just to have basically no counter offers, or they're just putting the money down and the player just comes straight over, and then it's ruining the market for everybody else. And now Chelsea come and do this while they're also the two biggest
transfers.
Well, the two biggest transfers, to the two teams that are most known for bending the rules. You know what I mean? Or how do you guys feel about this one? Because I feel like I don't care that we missed out on Rodgers. Honestly, I prefer, if you're gonna get a left winger, I prefer go to like Barcola or something like that. Someone who's plays.
Look how much Barcola is gonna be. You couldn't even pay for Morgan Rodgers.
Well, we could have, but we didn't want to. He's not worth 117.
Then what do you think Barcola is gonna be? But he scored. He had a better World Cup.
I don't think that matters.
But then again, everyone's talking about he won 2 Champions League, so of course you're paying for the market. That's what he has, accolades. So of course, doesn't matter if you don't think that.
Worth more.
Yeah,
I think that's worth more than what Morgan Rodgers has done with Aston Villa, honestly. And I know that they're different leagues, but like you said, it's Champions League. You involve everybody else.
If anything, this might just be an indicator that they're going to sell Enzo Fernandez for a lot of money.
Well, Real Madrid already said that they're not interested.
Exactly. It almost looks like they'd rather go for Rodri.
For Rodri, yeah. Their interest has shifted now
he's
that
in that
won.
situation. Yeah, either he holds out and goes a free transfer next season. I mean, in 2027.
Because the sale of Garnacho to Aston Villa isn't going to pay for it. And like you said, unless this is the last, from what I've heard, is they're still in business for other people, but you sold.
I mean, Martinez might be out, but I don't think you're going to get that much for him as well.
No, we're talking about Chelsea.
Oh, they're talking about Aston Villas because
no, I'm saying like Chelsea selling to recover some of that money that they're spending on Morgan Rodgers, because you said maybe it's because they're not in Europe. Like maybe it's because they missed out on purpose.
Yeah.
So UEFA can't ban them, maybe. So maybe
that could be the system. Yeah. You could have something there. Biggest club in London throwing games away. I told you they wanted to lose that game to City so that Arsenal would win the league, and then they just kept losing just for
just to get Liam out.
Yeah. Well, listen.
I don't know. Yeah, I think people complain about Tottenham and our spending, but it's like we have the receipts to say why we can spend this, right?
No, I get that.
Chelsea's been in trouble for so long, and like I don't want to be complaining like we spend and then you guys can't spend, only we can spend. Like that's not the case. The case is you've already been in trouble. You've been selling your property to yourself, your hotels, your teams. You're trying to find these loopholes, and it's like it gets kind of old. Like, sorry, give it up.
I would try to play it safe. Try to be a little under the radar for a bit. Let the smoke clear, and then make a big. But when you go and make a transfer like that, and let's be honest, they're not going to be done spending. They're going to buy more players. And how much?
They're after a defender.
Yeah. They need a goalkeeper.
Yeah, and how much are going to pay for them? And when you look at it, that bill is going to be way too much, and there's going to have to be explanations.
Yeah. That's the thing is like I get Tottenham's standpoint because, like you said, I think there's a little bit of overpaying, but you're paying maybe like 60 for a player that's worth 45. Or here, Chelsea, you're paying 117 for a player that's worth 60. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
they doubled
absurd.
It.
It's like they're rubbing your nose in it. It's like, if we do what we want, and what? Here, we'll do it again.
We're trying to prove that. We're so Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay.
The biggest club in London, according to Morgan Rodgers, and he's right because they have like 50 players. It's got to be a big ass club. Yeah. How are you gonna? Where are you putting all these players?
You gotta house all these people. Yep, man.
So biggest club in London. Go ahead, have fun. Not playing on Wednesday nights under the lights.
All right, I'm ready for the season.
I hope every single London team beats Chelsea this season.
Oh,
I don't know how. You go from playing European competitions to stepping down.
Yeah,
money talks. Money talks. That's what it is.
No, that's true.
Man.
That's true.
And the
That's
hope
true.
is, yeah, with Xabi Alonso, you'll probably get into Champions League. You'll get into those competitions, like you guys mentioned. It's sort of nice to be like that hero that gets you into that, into those competitions. So maybe that's what it is. Sacrifice 1 year,
And
and
Cole
then you.
Palmer's injury
What?
prone,
Yeah.
so is he
But
guaranteed a spot?
but they're not in Europe right now, so they're able to spend up to 85% of their revenues while
Yeah.
they're in the Premier League, right? If
Yeah.
they make it into Europe, they have to make Champions League next season with the
Yeah.
way they're spending. And then they're going to be limited to only 75% of the revenue.
Well,
So
buy now. That's it.
they're buying now, but I guarantee you they're going to have to sell next season. So
They
maybe
got a
they
bunch
won't
of
sell
players to
Enzo
sell.
Fernandez this season. Maybe they won't sell Calcedo, which I don't think he'll be for sale anyways.
He just extended that contract till I think 30.
Damn.
Yeah.
But 30 is
You
like
got
tomorrow.
you got Mudryk. Fuck that guy. That guy's on a ban. I think he finally got a what's it called? He's clean, but
I think
still
he's going to the
sell
Olympics,
him.
Yeah.
but if they don't make Champions League minimum, I think it could be they could just have to sell all their assets.
Yep.
It's like when you go downtown and they got the liquidation sales, like
Yeah.
everything's for sale.
Yeah.
It might be one of those cases because financially, like I don't, like you said, I don't get it. They've already been they're on probation, but
Well-
that might be through UEFA. So
Yeah.
does
But
it count
still,
this season?
look at it.
I don't
Those probations, they get what's it called? They get a special permission. They get a free pass. So what's the point of getting suspended if
Yeah.
if there's ways around it as well? You're allowing them to do that. Just if you spend them, keep it, keep them suspended. They know, oh, we're suspended, but guess what? We found a loophole. We're allowed to keep doing the same thing we're doing. We'll just keep doing that because we know there's going to be no firm punishment.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that.
This makes me just want to go out there and buy Krupi for 100 million just to prove a point.
But yeah, I was gonna say Tottenham might help them out. I heard Pedro Neto to Tottenham was another link
I think
there.
that got squashed.
Okay.
Real quick.
I
You
hope
squashed it.
'cause yeah, I squashed it. I called them. I was like, no, sorry, wrong
Stay
club.
away.
See.
Yeah, I don't want him. I don't think anybody in Chelsea really. Yeah, and like what you said, I think if
You
I
gonna
was
take
an Arsenal
Caicedo?
fan, not anymore. I think Mateus Fernandes is gonna be better.
Oh, let's see that battle next season.
Oh, that's good. I do think as an
Mexican
Arsenal,
Fernandez?
yeah, Ederson, it's smart that they didn't sign Morgan Rogers, especially if they're going to try to turn around. Because I think Julian Alvarez might be a better. You get more of your money's worth going that route.
We'd have to break the bank for that one. That one's I don't think we could cheap at him, but
he wants to
said
go to
doesn't wanna be there.
Barcelona.
yeah,
He wants to go to Barcelona. I think his heart is set on that. I don't think he would go to Arsenal. I just.
but Atletico.
But I
Well,
think-
he said
I
he's
think
open to
Atletico-
going. If
I think
Barcelona
Atletico would
doesn't
rather
happen.
sell to Arsenal because you're not a rival. You're not in the same league, so that makes
Exactly.
sense. But I just don't see it happening. Honestly, you have to give up a lot.
Yeah, it would be a dream. That's a dream transfer right there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I think from what I understand now, we're just in a hot pursuit for Bruno Guimaraes. I think because we missed out on Rogers, which I'm not upset about. But
80? I heard last time I heard was 80. They're prepping an 80 or 85 mil.
something like that. Yeah, I think because we're not paying this high, 85 for Morgan Rogers, I think would have been fair.
You don't
in
think
this
a
economy.
left winger would be more spend that money?
Yeah,
on a
no,
left
and
winger?
I think we will. I just don't think Morgan Rogers was worth 117. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not.
If we get someone out there for 90, maybe I think we could make it happen. You know what I mean?
So Bruno, 85 million to sit on the bench, or does he bench?
From what I've read,
That's an expensive bench.
From what I've read is, well, Rice needs some considerable resting because he's been playing injured through this World Cup.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, Saliba, Rice, and Saka are going to be out up until at least the very first international break, which I think is
I mean,
about 3 or
Saliba's
4
out for
weeks
longer
in.
though. I mean,
Well,
for the
they're saying he may not need surgery. I think he's played
but
so
he'll
long
still be
injured
out
that it
for a
almost like
bit.
healed himself. But so we're I think we're looking to fill the spots.
With John Stone.
John Stones is on a free. I would take him.
Yeah.
But I heard Chelsea are also in for him. I don't fucking know how, but
he's also a little bit
free.
Injury prone as well. I mean,
yeah, but the wages, you know.
Yeah,
but we'll see. We just need a backup, you know what I mean? But while Saliba's out for Rice, and I've heard the idea of Bruno Guimaraes is that we're gonna alternate. We're gonna have different midfielders going on. Sometimes it'll be Rice and Bruno. Sometimes it'll be Zubi and Rice. Sometimes it'll be Eze and Rice. Like that's the idea, is that it's always gonna be.
Are you talking about dinner or what? So, I mean, it sounds like your menu.
That's kind of scary to think, because I feel like when you don't have that consistency, you don't build that chemistry. And I mean, I don't know what happens off field, right? But
I think Pep did it. He had 2 starting 11s, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that would benefit them, because then that gives your opponents more to think about. Oh, now we got to switch up our game plan. But that's if you have those players communicate well, have that chemistry, which makes it easy for them to play. And if not, then it's just going to struggle. But I think that would be a good option for them, just giving them more flexibility in their game plan. But why am I talking about Arsenal?
Randy, it's kind of ironic that you said, "Ooh, that's an expensive bench," when you had Hugo.
Who's on our bench?
When you had
what are you talking about last season
on the bench Isaac?
We're gonna see with this formation is gonna probably be different. Maybe they'll all play. We'll see.
I'm surprised Ariola
talking about
hasn't
your
brought over
Fernandez,
more Bournemouth players.
Yeah,
I think he's trying to go for Alex Scott.
Yeah, I've heard that's
I thought
rumor.
Bournemouth is making it very difficult, but he hasn't signed a new contract.
I know, exactly.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, a lot of time still.
All right.
Gonna make a shout out.
Oh, I forgot.
We have a new listener of the podcast, a New York listener, and want to make a shout out. Thank you so much for joining us here. And we hope that you enjoy this coming season. We'll give you a lot of insights going into this new season, into coming players, tactical. We'll give you predictions so you kind of see where things might end up. And we hope that you enjoy from us, you know, not so much me. We hope that you enjoy your journey as a Tottenham fan.
Oh,
yeah.
This whole time I thought it was Arsenal.
It should have been Arsenal.
Welcome to the team.
He knows.
It's coming home.
Depression is coming home.
To Come On You Spurs. Hell yeah. We got another we'll leave a link for my what's that therapy? Online therapy. We'll leave a link. Use our code.
If you put his name, you get a referral bonus or whatever.
Yeah, right. But
so yeah, welcome and enjoy.
Nice. Well, how do you pick Tottenham?
You're stuck.
Why does anyone ever pick Tottenham? It's beyond me. I can't explain it.
I don't know.
Tottenham is the greatest team the world has ever seen. Tottenham is the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Were they last season?
Hey, we were top 17.
All right. So thanks again for joining us on another episode of Rivals on the Pitch. There you have it. Spain, world champions. And now we're going to see who's going to win the Premier League. We'll keep you tuned in with all transfers up until the season. Obviously, we still have to do our jersey rankings. We will do our top 6 predictions. We're doing relegation predictions. So there's so much more to come. Stay tuned. Don't miss an episode. Make sure you listen to all previous episodes and future episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And follow us for all extra content on Instagram and TikTok. Hit that like, share with all your friends. And that's it. I'm Pat.
That's all. I'm Randy.
I'm Alan.
All right.
Come on, you Spurs. Peace.